Hi there, and welcome to another session of Digital Making at Home from the Raspberry Pi Foundation. My name's Mark, and I'm coding today from my own home in Lincolnshire in England. As it's Earth Day this week, we thought a really good theme would be Celebrate Our Planet. So I'm going to show you how to make an app in the programming language Python, which will show you facts and images of endangered animal species. You might also like to use rpf.io/home to check out the other Mark's video, and he's going to be showing you how to make a bug in a programming language called Blockscat. So you'll make a 3D model of an insect. Or check out Christina's video. She's going to be showing you how to use HTML and CSS to build a bird watching website. So let's get on with this Python app. Now, normally I'd take you to the project site and I would show you a project that already exists, and I'd show you how I would then work through that project. But today's a little bit different. I only created this app this morning, so we don't have a project on the project site for it. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to just code along with me. You can pause the video at any time if you need to catch up and you get a little bit stuck, but code along with me to build this app together. Okay, so let's start by opening up a web browser. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go to rpf.io/dm-endangered. This is going to take you to a platform called Replit. Now, I've already created a starter project for you here, and you'll see down on the left-hand side, you've got your main.py, you've got a folder called animal pics and an animal.py file there. If you've got an account with Replit, I would encourage you to sign in. If you don't, I would encourage you to sign up, because that way you're going to be able to share your project with us. You can all hit fork once you've done that. And what that will do is that will make a copy of this entire project that will then be your own. So here we go. I've forked the project. It's given it its own name up here. All right. And you can rename it to whatever you like. So what have we got here? Well, let's just change my settings a little bit. Dark theme. Go for a huge font and change my indentation to 4. And that should be a little bit clearer for you. And then I'm going to just move that over there and move that over there. There we go. So I've got a bunch of imports to start off with in my Python file in this main.py here. So I'm using GUI0 module, and that allows me to create a graphical user interface in Python. I'm using the random module to pick random things. And then I've got this from animals, import animals list and facts dict. Let's have a look at this line here. So this is from animals. You'll notice there's a file here called animals is importing these two things, this animals list and this facts dict. Let's have a look at animals.py and see what's in there. So we start off, we've got this animals list. Okay, I can tell it's a list because it's surrounded by square brackets, and this is a list of 3 endangered animal species, and I could add in as many as I wanted here. So I'm just going to add in another one. So fake animal. Okay, so I've just added to that list, and you can keep doing that. You can add in as many animals as you want. I've got this facts dict here as well. Okay, so this facts dict is a dictionary, and I can tell that because it's surrounded by these curly braces at the top and bottom. Now, a dictionary is, if you imagine it like a normal dictionary used to look at words, you have the word and then a definition next to it. All right, and a dictionary in Python is very similar. You have a key, and next to it you have a value. All right. So in this case here, I've got the key of California condor. All right. And then its value is this list here. And there's 3 items in this list. They're all different facts about the California condor. I then have a comma at the end, and then a new key, Mexican wolf. And then that's tied to this list. So the value is this list, which is 3 facts about the Mexican wolf. I could quite easily come to the end here, put a comma, and then put in my fake animal, and then put a colon, and then open a square bracket, and then I could start writing my fake fact number 1, comma, and then fake fact number 2, and so on. Okay. So I can add in all my facts into this dictionary. Number 3. All right. And then once that's done, my dictionary closes, and I've got my dictionary of all these different facts about the animals. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to pause the video now, and I'm going to show you how to get some more animal names, okay, and some facts about them. In a new tab, I'm just going to go to rpf.io/endangered-wiki. And that's going to take you to the Wikipedia page about endangered animal species. All right. So you can see here we've got that California condor and the Mexican wolves down here as well. So I'd like you to choose an endangered animal, add its name into the list, find 3 facts about it from the Wikipedia page, add those 3 facts into the list, and once you've done that, come back and we'll have a look at what we're going to do next. Okay, so I've chosen the Siamese crocodile as my endangered animal, and I've added its name into this list here, and then down at the bottom, using the same name as the key, I've then put in these 3 facts inside this list about the Siamese crocodile. The next thing I want to do is go grab an image of the crocodile. If you look in Animal Pics folder here, you'll see that I've already got California condor, the Mexican wolf and the Siberian tiger images, and you can click on these to have a look at those images. Let's get one from my Siamese crocodile here. So on my endangered animal page, I'm just going to go down to my Siamese crocodile. There it is. Click there on the image, click on more details, and then I've got this download button here. Click on that and I can choose what size of image I want. I don't need a huge image, so I'm just going to choose a 256 pixel wide image. Click, and then right click on the image and save image as. Siamese crocodile.jpg, that will do. I'm just going to change that to lowercase Siamese crocodile.jpg. There we go. Click on save. Back over here. So I wanted to name the image exactly the same way I've got it in animals.py. So Siamese crocodile, Siamese underscore crocodile. I wanted to name it exactly the same way. Now I can click on this button here, on this menu here, click upload a file, and I'm looking for, in my downloads, Siamese crocodile.jpg, open. There it is, it's appeared here, and I'm just going to drag it in to the Animal Pics. There we go. Okay, so I'm all ready to now start coding my actual app. So come back up to main.py. Let's start off by creating our app. So we have to create an app object using GUI 0. So I'm going to type app equals app, and then we can give it a size. We don't want it to be too big. Width equals 800 pixels. There we go. And then down, I'm going to actually put in quite a few lines here, and then I'm just going to write on here app.display to display the app that I've created. So app.display, there we go. All right, let's just run this and check everything's working. Now, with Replit, the first time you run the program, it's going to have to install any modules that you use. So it's got to install that GUI 0. So we're just going to run it without any extra code in there at the moment, just to make sure that it can install GUI 0, okay? So we can see down at the bottom right here, it's doing the installation. It all looks good. That's it, it's perfect. So it's installed GUI 0 without any problems, and we've got our app ready to go. All right. Let's create some things with inside the app. So with inside this graphical user interface, we're going to create a few little things. Let's start off with title. So I'm going to say title equals text. You see that imported text there? And I'm using it here. And then it's going to be for the app. I'll just say text equals hello, just to test it. Let's stop and run again. What's going on here then? Let's just refresh. There we go. That's worked this time. Okay, so sometimes with Replit, it doesn't work straight away, and you might sometimes have to just refresh your browser in order to get that to work. So don't worry about it. I've also lost my settings because I'm not logged in, so I'll quickly change all that again. Fonts is an indent. There we go. So here we've got our app. This is our GUI 0 app that's been created here, and you can see that title there says hello. We'll change that in a second. Right, let's add in some more elements into our graphical user interface. So I'm going to add in a button. Button equals push button. And then again, I just pass in app, stop and run again. Let's just see whether that works. And there we go, we've got our title, and then we've got this button here. The button doesn't do anything, okay? It's just sitting there, but that's fine. Let's add in a few more elements. So that's where, so I'm gonna have my title, which is gonna display the animal name. I've got a button, which is going to like pick a random animal from the list. I want something to show the image. So I'm gonna create a pick box, pick underscore box, and that equals a picture. Spell that correctly. Again, app. So that's a picture box to hold the image, and then we want somewhere to display the facts that we've got about the animal. So I'll do fact box equals, and that's going to be a text box with app. Okay, and that's good. Let's stop and run that and see what happens. Takes a little bit of time there. There we go. So we've got our title, we've got our button. We haven't given it a picture yet, so the picture's not visible, and there's our little text box there. That's a little bit small for my liking, okay? That's not going to be enough space to display our facts. So inside the fact box, I'm just going to say that the width is equal to fill, and then I also want the height to be equal to fill as well, to try and fill up that as much as possible. And then I'm also going to say multi-line equals true. Good, because otherwise it would just display everything on a single line, or the fact on a single line, and if some of the facts are really long, I'd want them to wrap onto extra lines. So I'll say multi-line equals true. Just again, do a quick test to make sure that I haven't made any mistakes, everything's working okay. And here we go, good. And here's my text box now, yeah. So multi-line means that I can have multiple lines like that. Okay, good, so that's all good. Right, now what next? So what I would like is, I would like that title to display the name of the animal, okay? And I'd like that to happen when I push the button. Every time I push the button, I want that animal name to be displayed there. So how do I do that? Well, I'm gonna write a function. And my function I'm going to call pick animal. I'm going to colon at the end. Oh, no, colon. No, I got it right that time. So pick animal, and I'll put a colon at the end. So this is a function. This is going to be a block of code which is going to contain some commands. And I call the function. I can call the pick animal function. It will run all those commands. Good. So pick animal is going to be my function name. And in my button, okay, I want to say in my button that when the button's pushed, the command is going to be the pick animal function. Good. All right. So because we've imported this animals list here, we know that animals list, okay, we know that animals list is a list of all our animals. So what I can say under here is animal equals, and then I can go choice animals list. So what does that do? Well, that animals list that's over in animals.py, that's that list of 4 animals at the moment, okay, it's going to pick a random item from that list. All right, so it's going to pick a random item from that list. Now then, what else can I do? I can now say title dot value equals animal, so that the variable animal all right, is going to be a random item from the animals list. And I'm saying title.value equals animals. So that title there, its value is going to change to whatever the animal is. Let's just check that that all works. So I'm going to stop and I'm going to hit run. Just wait for the GUI to open up. Good. Push the button and I get Siamese crocodile. Push it again. I get a different random animal from the list. So I can keep pushing this button and it will give me one of those 4 random animals. Brilliant. Okay, so we're getting there. So we've got animal equals animals list. Now what do we want? We want a fact. Okay, so let's have a look over at my animals.py. So the dictionary contains these keys, which is a list of 3 facts. So I want to pick a random fact. So the way I do that in Python is I'm going to say fact equals choice, and then it's going to be from the facts dictionary. I want to look up the animal and get that list. So this facts dict animal, okay, don't forget animal is a random animal, so any one of the random animals, okay. Now it's going to look up that animal in the facts dict, get all 3 facts that I've got in there, and then it's going to choose a random one from that. So now I can display that in that big text box there. So what I'm going to say is fact box dot value equals fact. Okay, let's just test that again because I'm never sure whether I've got everything 100%. So I've written a couple of lines of code. I always want to test to make sure that I haven't messed up anywhere. So just wait for the GUI to start up, push my button. There we go. We've got a fact now. All right. And every time I click that, I'll get my different animal and I'm going to get a new fact about it. Perfect. Right. What do we want to do next? Let's get that picture in. So I'm just going to put that here. Okay. So now I want to say image equals. Now I want to point to this animals dict. This animals folder here, this animals pics folder here. Okay. So I want to point to this. So I'm going to do this as a string. So it's animal pics, but then I want to specifically pick one of these images depending on what that animal is there. All right. There's several ways I could do that. Okay, I could do what's called concatenating strings. So I could add onto the end of animal pics. Oh, let me put a slash in there. I could add onto the end of animal pics like the animal string, and then add .jpg like this. Okay, so that's one way of doing that to make sure that that image is the correct animal image. But I'm going to use a fairly new feature in Python called f-strings. And what that allows me to do is if I put an f in front of this, okay, then I can insert using curly braces any variable that I've got within my function there, and then add .jpg, which is actually a little bit neater than writing out, than concatenating strings and using lots of plus signs to add strings together. So I've said the image is equal to an f string, okay, and then it's animal pics, and then insert, where I've put in curly braces that animal, so it's going to insert the name of the animal into that string. Okay, so I've got the string where the file is, where that image is. I've now got to put it into the pic box. Okay, so I go pic box dot value equals, and then just image. All right, let's hope this works. So hit stop, hit run. Here we go, loading up the graphical user interface again for me. And I'm going to hit my button. And there we go. I've got my image of the Siberian tiger. I've got my title there. And I've got my fact there. And every time I click the button, I get my next image and then a new fact about it. So that, in essence, is our app created. But you could do more with this if you wanted. For a start, You could go to your animals.py file and make this much, much larger. Yep, you can have lots of different endangered species and lots of different facts about them in there. All right. There's other items that you could add into your graphical user interface as well. So maybe you'd like to give your app up here, instead of it saying GUI 0, give it a proper title. You could display multiple images. You could display multiple facts. You can do all kinds of things. Now you know the basics of GUI 0. You just need to check out the documentation on GUI 0. So you can find that really easily just by doing GUI 0 read the docs. Do that Google search there, and that'll take you to the getting started with GUI 0. And you've got all your information here about how to use GUI 0 and all the different widgets that we've been using, like buttons and push buttons and text boxes and stuff like that. All the information is there. Okay, so what I'd like you to have a go at is see what you can do with this app. Do as much as you want, add in as many facts as you want, as many animals as you want, really make it your own little project, and then click on this share button here and send us the URL of your project, okay? And send that to rpf.io/home. If you go there, there's a little web form for you to fill out, and you can share up your project with us, and we can have a look at all the wonderful work you've done. Okay, that's it for me today, guys. I shall see you all again next week for some more adventures in coding. So have a wonderful week, and I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.